What's up, guys? It's Rev. It's Revelation News. Like I made it that, it's like that's always what I'm gonna be when it comes to like being on the internet. That's what I started as. I mean, well, originally my YouTube channel was like the Tento Saga. It was it was my sci-fi novel because I thought that I was going to use it for like selling my novel and stuff, or like not really just selling the novel, but like eventually maybe like an audio book would go on there and stuff like that, which that's out there. I have a page, a YouTube actually. I think the Tento Saga audio book, and Shani was going to record it, but we haven't gotten, we've had this harassment for so long, we haven't really been able to pursue anything realistically, because it's like, oh, our channel is going to go down. Our channel is going to get screwed, so why even bother? That's the deal. But I have a plan here that I think can be really cool. I had an Instagram that got banned because of, oh my God, I'm not even going to say the word, okay? But it has to do with medical stuff. That thing that was going on in the 2020 with the sickness, that. I talked about that a few times. I never said anything negative about it even. It just got brought up, in a couple videos I did, and they're like, "No, we didn't like that." I don't want to cover up the microphone on this. It's such a pain. I need like a stand for the phone and stuff to do this correctly. That's another thing, and tell me in comments in the bottom, because I want to do this. I want to do an entire series of videos like I did the first time. And there was such good stuff on those videos, guys, like really awesome stuff. I was talking about like Bill Cooper stuff, William Cooper, and breaking down like what I believe in. I believe that there is a system. Let's call it the New World Order. I believe that this is a real thing. It's almost been like a parody of itself, of the entire concept of the New World Order. But I do believe that there is a cabal of people in the world that meet in secret, and make policies and decide what wars are going to happen, all kinds of this type stuff. And that's what I want to talk about. Because I find it fascinating, and it's like Christians can get really wrapped up in that, and it takes over everything. And I don't want that to be the case. I don't want to only talk about that stuff, but it's what I mean. Revelation News was meant to be like prophecy in the news channel, and that's what I had, really, pretty much. I did a lot of Bible teachings and stuff like that, actually reading scripture though. Instead of just looking at the news and then going, okay, this connects to Bible prophecy. But I did both. It's the same thing to me. I do, in most headlines, you're going to see something that makes you go, oh, wow, like something weird is going on here in the world. I mean, in this country, it's absolutely insane. Every day, you have something new, unprecedented happening in the country with the Trump thing. It's insane. The indictments, it's incredible. Never seen anything like this in American history. Now, like you think about, well, how does Trump connect to the Bible and Bible prophecy? This is a song for the people. All right, thank you, Gucci Trolls. The chat is like, especially when I'm starting to do like, I would call it like a presentation or whatever you want to call it. I would call it like, it's like a lecture style presentation, and it's nothing scripted. I have nothing in front of me except my mini Cambridge scripture here. This is a mini Cambridge I got back in the day. That's all I got in front of me. It's not going to be scripted. I'm not going to read anything to you. In things in the future, if it's really involved, I might have some bullet points that I want to pop off each, and I have bullet points, and then I speak on them, and that would be it. But I don't even have that right now. So I'm coming on here this is how it's going to feel. And I'm going to call it Revelation News Podcast. And this is going to be number 1 of that. Because I have an issue I want to talk about tonight with you. And I don't know exactly how long I'll be. Not too long. But the issue I want to talk to you about tonight is basically like monetary system, monetary policy, economics, that type of stuff. You're welcome. I recommend everybody listen. It's an important message. He's a conservative. Okay, cool. That's cool. Everybody could check that out then. Whoever sees this wants to check that out, go for it. I want to talk about that end of it, the money end of what I call the New World Order, okay? It's a scummy system, very abusive to common everyday people. That's just a fact. It's a very abusive system. And it's been, I mean, our currency right now has been devalued so horribly that, you're not to the point, thank God, yet. You're not to the point of, $100 for a loaf of bread. Thank God we're not there. But when you see what the Federal Reserve is doing and the interest rates and where they're going, they're really, they're pushing with their finger like we want some hyperinflation going on. I really hope it doesn't go that way. This song is about Rev. You'll enjoy it. Okay, cool. Really? Wow. That's interesting. Okay. What's that again? Have you heard Oliver Anthony's song, Rich Men North of Richmond? It's a song for the people. Okay. I'll check that out. The name again. Oliver Anthony. Rich Men North of Richmond. Oliver Anthony. Okay, I'll look that up. See, when you do stream of consciousness, I don't want to get too off the reservation of what I talk on. That can be a problem with me because I walk towards issues, and then that sometimes leads to another completely separate issue. Then I'll start talking about that instead of the original issue. So I'm gonna dedicate myself, guys, to you to try my best to remain on that straight road. He was just offered an $8 million contract and turned it down. Sorry for interrupting. No, that's okay. You're not interrupting. I'm kind of getting into the mode. This is kind of just an opener for all of the videos that are going to come after this. And then I might have a video where I just talk on something like a headline or like Trump with the trial or something like that. I might talk on something pertaining to that. But if you saw my last YouTube videos before that channel just went away, I'll be talking about that stuff again, definitely. But right now, I want to remain focused on this one issue that I'm going to speak on. And it's not that complex because I'm going to give you the way it is. All right. I'm not going to go with this mainstream stuff that whenever I see a segment on mainstream media that speaks on these issues pertaining to like economics and the way money works and the monetary system that we have, it makes me very angry because it's clear that they just want to put out a bunch of gobbledygook to people without explaining things to them. And just say, well, we're the masters of this system. Like I would think about somebody like what's his name? Reich. His last name is Reich, Reich. And he's a Keynesian economics guy. Okay, the Keynesian system is absolutely cancerous, and it creates bubbles and bubbles and pop bubble and catastrophe, and then we blow up the bubble again. It's all debt. It's all based on debt. It's based on thin air, nothing, crap. And then the fractional reserve banking system is exactly why we have a country that it's a bunch of slaves. We are slaves to this system. It's just a truth, okay? And this is why you have families that have to have both parent working huge hours to make ends meet. Now we come into the era of wow, social media has gotten to be absolutely insane. So people can make massive amounts of money really fast now. And then we have the whole crypto, the new era of money, which cryptocurrency is massive, and it's getting bigger every day. And there's new cryptos every day. Hey, God bless you, Christina Blackfeather. I just saw you comment. And I don't know what that is. Some other deal, man. I don't know, but I don't think it wasn't you're not a comment in here. You must have commented on something though, because I saw you pop up. Blessed be to her. And every religion here is welcome. Okay, I believe in Jesus Christ. This is my book, that's my Revelation News sticker that you can't get them anymore. And I might try and make another Teespring. I don't know. Why would I even do it? Somebody's going to just flag it and ban it. But this is my book. This is what I believe. And that's where I'm at with it. But I don't judge other belief systems. I'm not that type of Christian. I believe that no matter what you are, we can talk about issues together. It's a big problem in my mind if you've walled off your idea. If your ideology is telling you to wall off other views and not talk to them, that's pretty stupid in my book. Because just because somebody's a different religion or maybe doesn't even believe in a God or something doesn't mean that you couldn't learn something from the person. You know what I mean? I find that really it's insulting. It's insulting to people. Jesus Christ said to be everybody, to be something to everybody. Be the salt of the earth. Listen. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth. That tells you should listen more than talk, and it's true. What I'm doing here is it's lecture type data dumping. That's what I want this to be. So let's start off really. This is the way I want to go with this, okay? This issue is really something I wanted to talk about right off the bat, because you're seeing it happen now. You're seeing prices that are pretty ridiculous, and they want to try and say that that Bidenomics. This is the meme that's out there now. You got Bidenomics is doing good for folks. Okay, Joe Biden. It's the Biden effect. Okay, with the glasses. I don't have any glasses up here. Okay, that Bidenomics is working for people, and I'm telling you, if I talk to normal everyday people, yeah, okay, yeah, I don't see it either, Gucci trolls. People are saying, the news is saying, the pundits that are for a certain side are saying that prices are coming down. You got $4 a gallon gas again at where I'm at. It's $4 a gallon again. Okay. A package of Reese's Pieces is $3. Something's going on. We're not at the point of Weimar Republic, okay, where you need to have a wheelbarrow of money to pay for a loaf of bread. We're not there yet. Thank God. Okay. And hopefully it never gets to that point. But we're going to a place where I'm not sure that it won't go there. Okay. Gucci trolls, I'm really liking what I see with you. I think maybe you're gonna like where I go with these videos that are coming. I don't know where you're at with Bible prophecy. I don't know if you're into that. But that's eventually where this will go if Jesus doesn't come back first. Okay. But I'm gonna do a series of videos. This is the first one on monetary policy and the bullshit of the Federal Reserve. Let's just jump into the Federal Reserve. Okay, now I hope people understand this by now. But if you haven't heard, God bless you that you love God. That's it. That's everything. Okay, so here it is. The Federal Reserve banking system is as Federal Express is. And if you're not aware that Federal Express is not a federal company, you should know that it's not. Neither is the USPS. The USPS, even though it calls itself the United States Postal Service, is a privately owned, it's a private corporation, okay? It's all about profit margin always, okay? But if you've noticed how the USPS acts recently, it's really insane. It's horrible. I'm not condemning all mailmen and shit like that. That's not what I'm doing here. But I'm telling you, like, it's pretty rough right now, I would say. Okay, they do their best though, and they have rundown equipment, all that. But Bidenomics is what's being it's touted as the way we should be doing things. Absolutely, 100%. And they always want to say trickle down economics doesn't work. I would agree. Trickle down is not something that you want to be involved with either. But see, when you have trillionaires that are doing nothing but doing this, they're taking it and storing and taking and they sit on it. Okay, this is not the way it should be. Okay. Now we say businesses, they create wealth. They create jobs. Yeah, that's accurate. But what the hell are you going to do with wealth if all you got going on here with the wealth is you have trillionaires that are filling their coffers and they're doing nothing philanthropic with it? It's not gonna. You're gonna have a problem eventually, and we have that problem in this country. There's no doubt. You have a concentration of wealth. Thank you for the 100% in the hearts. Thank you. You have a bunch of people. You have too many of the ultra wealthy that are doing this, that it's hampering our system. Okay. When you have so much wealth in a nation, you should be able to take care of your homeless. You should be able to take care of those that are sick. This is something that should come from great wealth. And this is why I really would not call myself a capitalist anymore. Because I would just, this is the reason I'm saying it. It created great wealth, but you have also the greatest disparity of wealth as well. The 99% of people have very small amounts of money to live on, okay? The top 1% are the ones that the 99% of the wealth is in the hands of. That's crazy. And a system like that is inherently corrupt. And I'm going to tell you that it goes into the prison system, which is insane, but it does. Because the way the money works, it's worth so little, and you need so much of it to do anything. Okay? You have criminal enterprise seems to be the better thing to do. Because you're going to get larger and larger amounts of money from doing stuff like that. It's just a fact. And when you go into the prisons, I'm telling you, the number of minorities, non-white, I'm white, non-white individuals there's something wrong. There's a great disparity here. And the way that minorities are treated by law enforcement, it's absolutely gross. Okay? And the prison populations tell you that something's wrong. You have a class, you have classes of people based on their color mainly that are being targeted. And it's insane. And I'm saying that as a white man. I saw it when I was in jail, guys. I saw it firsthand. But capitalism, I say, has failed us because it should take care of people. If you get that type of wealth, there should be no reason. There should be absolutely no one that's wanting in your country. And it tells you the hearts of men. It's the love of many has waxed cold. Absolutely, I believe that. That's scripture fulfilled. That's one of the signs of the end, that the love of many waxes cold. And if you can't use your money for taking care of others, Jesus Christ would tell you to just flush it down the toilet. And my mom used to say this to me, that the only thing that money is really good for is helping other people. And I feel that's where I'm at. That's what I want to be. I want to be the person helping. I was when I had my money. That's where I was at, and I did my best to do that. Fractional reserve banking system has built-in fraud. What's fractional reserve banking? They can lend out at interest money that they don't have on their books. They can lend out 200% of somebody's $100 bill to someone else once they have it in an account. What does that create? It's built-in fraud. You'll call it a Ponzi scheme, okay? That is fractional reserve banking, and that's the way our banks operate. They lend money at interest that they don't even have themselves. That's why we've had problems where you had TARP. Remember TARP, the Troubled Asset Relief Program, where the banks were given trillions of dollars because they had toxic paper that was worth nothing on their books, and they were the companies were grossly valued incorrectly. So then they had all of these defaults, and the government, Uncle Sam, came in with their printing press of the Federal Reserve banking system, which is a foreign-owned corporation. Okay, the Federal Reserve Board, it's foreign banks that own the Federal Reserve of the United States. Okay? Yes, you have to understand that, and it's cancer. The founders of this nation, one of their tenets that they would absolutely they would say, if this happens in your country, you're really done. And if you continue to have that system go on the path that it's at, you're going to have slaves in your own country. Your citizens will be slaves in their own country if you have a foreign entity that's controlling and owning your money. And the Federal Reserve charges at interest, okay, the printing of our currency. They're worth the paper. The worth of the U.S. dollar is pegged to the petrol. It's pegged to petroleum oil barrels. Okay, that's the only reason that the United States dollar is worth anything, because we've said, okay, we're going to agree that the U.S. dollar is pegged to a barrel of oil. And as soon as that's over, our currency's value is going to absolutely tank to almost zero, to nothing almost. That's where this is going. Now, is that the point where you're going to have to take in an entire manila envelope filled with $100 bills to get a loaf of bread? Maybe. But we don't have to get there. If people can if people can start understanding this and where it's going, we can end the Fed. We can executive order them out of existence, because there's no need to have a Federal Reserve. Okay? Constitutional money is printed. It's the values determined by the legislature, and the Treasury Department prints. Okay? And you have levels of it always goes up and down based on supply and demand of the dollar in circulation. Okay? You value your currency that way. That's how it's valued. Now, you want to talk about gold-backed currency? You want to talk about silver-backed currency? I mean, every system in its own way is fiat. Okay? based on something. It's sort of abstract, okay? There's people that propose the idea of pegging the value of your currency to the gross domestic product, GDP. That is an option. In my opinion, valuation of currency should come down to a commodity that is agreed by everybody to have value. Now, right now, of course, it's petrol, it's oil. This is an old system. And very manipulatable. Okay, you have whenever a foreign nation that has oil wants to screw with us a little bit, they'll cut production, right? They'll cut production, and then the American people are being absolutely eviscerated at the pumps that they can barely afford to put any money into their tank anymore. Because the Saudis go, well, we don't like what you did there, cut it. And then OPEC, the oil producing nations, the conference of those guys, the OPEC nations. It's hilarious. Why would we base our currency on something that's so many? Russia is in the oil market big. Okay. Why would we base our money on something that's so manipulatable? Well, why? That's exactly why. Okay. That's perfect. There's nothing more perfect than that, because you just like imagine a switchboard, right? How can we screw with the people today? Well, let's call the Saudis up and go, you know what? Cut that production for a month or two, okay, and put the receiver down. That's it, okay? They'll love that one. They'll absolutely love that one. See, but hey, let's not do the constitutional money thing though. Let's not peg it to like, okay, what we can't do gold standard anymore. You want to know why? Because the United States doesn't have any gold left. It's gone. The Fort Knox is filled with gold. Yeah, not since like 1950s, the Social Security Act. Oh. The 50s? What was it? When's Social Security? Okay. When did Social Security come in? And I'm not saying, look, I like Social Security, because my views on capitalism, it just didn't do what it should do. Okay. And by virtue of it not doing that, I say, screw it. We need to take care of people before anything. Okay. There's no reason in a nation that's this rich that we can't take care of our feeble and old people and people that can't work and stuff. There's no reason why we can't do that with somebody that's living in the country that's as wealthy as Elon Musk. It's ridiculous. Do I feel like I'm drifting into a Bernie Sanders situation? I like Bernie. I always like Bernie. Okay, even as a conservative capitalist. I like his passion. I don't like the fact that the man he's a little bit hypocritical, okay? He's got properties. Pension should still be a thing. Oh, wow. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can say it's done away with pretty much, right? 100%. Absolutely truth. What's the deal with that, man? What pensions? Like I have a relative that it's pretty much the situation that it's eviscerated. You know what I mean? It's insane. It's really bad. Why doesn't that exist anymore? Isn't that crazy? What?
Hi, baby.
Hi. There she is. Your glasses. Poor girls.
Yeah, they broke at the stem.
So there's the girl. Say hi to the Shanny. She's here. You go to the bathrooms? You wanted to say hi. Well, that's good. I was talking about monetary policy.
Oh.
is going to be the first one. So, Gucci Troll said hi.
Hello.
Yeah, so fractional reserve banking, Federal Reserve System. But you started getting this type of stuff when this is why a lot of patriots and patriot-minded people don't like the social programs, because they view it as communism or Marxist communist policy. And I would call myself a Marxist actually now. If I'm going pure, the way, okay, Marxism is global communism, all right? I don't even like using the word communism because that goes into political ideology. It's not just brought down to an economic system. There's way more. There's way more involved with communism than just the economics of it. But purely speaking, the policy that I would agree with for the nation would be Marxist in nature. Because regardless of what you think of Marx himself, that was he godless? Absolutely. He was atheist. Okay. But the thing is, his vision of what we should do economically is very much what I would coin the kingdom economy. It's accurately the kingdom economy. It's people pooling their resources. And we go into all of these different terms like the bourgeoisie and the all of that. I'm not going to go into that stuff because it's in the weeds. Okay. I don't want to get into the weeds because that gets into debate, and you could debate these things until you're blue in the face, and you could still say, damn it, capitalism's better. And I could say, damn it, it's not, because Marxism has never happened ever once, never. Marx's vision is global communism, global. Okay, the entire planet being under a you would call it a communist system, but minus the politics of communism, please. All right, that's atheistic, and I don't have a problem with atheists, but I'm just saying that it's extremely, it's not gone well when you're talking about political communism. And see, there were people that I used to hang out with in the hangouts that were Marxists and atheists, and some of them Leninist. And you'll never hear me call myself a Leninist or a Stalinist. That's absolute like vomit. That's authoritarianism, and it's disgusting. Okay, it's like we're talking about literally the world would pool their resources and take care of each other. You tell me how that's a bad thing, man. There's no way it's bad. That's straight up, man. That's what Jesus told us to do. Now, Marx just wrote he wrote the kingdom economy minus God. Put God out of it. I don't believe you can do it without God, which was why I believe that the kingdom economy that we'll have when Christ returns is Marxism. It's Marx's view, and I think Jesus would be a unionist 100%. Jesus would want unions because the Jews were totally and completely abused their entire existence by slave masters that drove them with no rights. You know, the worker should have rights. I mean, I don't even know how anybody could disagree with that. Okay, but if you had a purist capitalist that was talking to me right now, like somebody in the hangouts, his name was Jeff. Boy. Oh my goodness. If there was a hangout person in here, they'd remember his name right away, Jeff. But he is what you call an anarcho-capitalist, which is unbridled, nothing. It's pure capitalism with absolutely no controls, no regulations, just purely if you're making the money, you're the top of the heap. If you're the best at making money, you're at the top of the system, and that's all there is to it. Do you realize the type of environment that creates? Do you think there's going to be any compassion for the worker in that scenario?
Baby,
What?
did you open up the door?
No,
Then why is the door open?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I can't remember if it was open last time. I forgot where I was going with that completely again, because it's like, you know, I can really get on a roll with issues, but it's like interruptions are really rough. I'm trying to, and I love her. It's not the point. It's whatever. So I covered quite a bit. Okay, kingdom economy is Marxism, and it definitely is. But capitalism, if you have somebody that's an anarcho-capitalist, whoa, you really, what type of environment do you think that breeds? It breeds, I only care about my bottom line and stockholder. Okay, the worker can do his work and he can have a wage. But I'm going to call it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'll give him $10.50 an hour when I'm pulling in CEOs billions. No, you should pay your worker $20.50. You know, as your profits go up, you should compensate your worker better. But we don't do that in capitalism. We just don't do that. It's for the stockholder and the CEO and the board. That's what they care about. They don't give a shit about the worker at all. Jesus would be a union guy. 100%. I think it's insane that there are Christians. In future videos, I'm going to have a cool Bluetooth headset so I can move around, and it was out of battery, of course, for this video. I'm pretty sure the microphone on this thing is right here, and if I cover it up, you can't hear me. That's why we no longer have workers who want to work. If people are leaving their jobs, absolutely. And you had Elon Musk, and I don't care, whatever. Love him, hate him, Elon Musk, whatever. But he's pretty freaking smart. I think he's pretty smart, man. I mean, a lot of people say he's an idiot. I don't know. They're not compensated correctly, not at all. And they should have health care by default. Every person that's born in this country, period, should have health care immediately, because I believe it's a human right. It's not, they monetized health care. Do you realize how disgusting and demonic that is, to monetize health care? And then you're killing old people just to kill old people because you feel like it. It's insanity. That's insane that you would monetize people's health. Okay? And then even worse, that they're traded on the market. It's like, are you kidding me? You have these contracts, when a policy, they can trade between companies and trade back and forth. It's literally making merchandise out of people's health. It's so gross. It's insane, and it needs to stop. All these abuses in the financial system need to stop. So I'm going to end with this, that the Bible says that an unjust weight and measure of currency is an absolute abomination to the Lord. And interest is against God. It's a satanic thing. Okay. We should have interest-free money in this country that's based on, this is it's crazy to talk about, and you can debate it forever what the best thing that you could base your currency on is. But maybe a pure Marxist would say your true worth is your work. Your worth is your work. Could you base a currency off of work? Yeah, probably. But you want a tangible good, something that's tangible. Gold standard, it's something to look at. We want to go back to that, but we don't got no gold no more. Okay? We don't have no gold no more. So what do you do with that? China bought up a lot of stuff, and it's going to be the Chinese century. That's for sure. They're smart. They plan things 1,000-year plans, the Chinese. They're incredibly brilliant people. So they're going to win it. But an unjust weight and measure is an abomination to the Lord. So we need to get the abomination out of the country, and people will have more money in their pocket. Because you might not have $10,000, but you're going to have like $1,000 that will buy you a car. You get a new car for $1,000 when you have a powerful dollar, the true power. Now we can debate that. I'm not saying that I got all the answers on what you base your currency on, because that's something time and eternity that you could discuss. I really like the idea of your worth is your work. Like for me, it would be being, a voice, a radio guy. My worth would be sitting in front of a radio, a microphone, and doing a show every day, talking about an issue or doing the news. Like that would be my worth, because I think I've honed myself into that type of thing, that I can do it pretty well. Or a radio show in general, that's my deal. I like that stuff. Podcasting, all of it. But I mean, nationally, how do you do that with a currency? You base it on your work. That's like nonsense, right? But we'd have to talk about this is an issue, man. People think, I don't think there's a single entity living that thinks that our system is quote unquote working. When you have wealth disparity, 99% of the people got shit. Most people just enough to not get kicked out of their place, maybe. And extra is meager. You might be able to buy a couple beers, something like that. A pack of cigarettes. That's not right. Something's wrong. 1% has all the wealth. Something's wrong. We can agree on this. If you're asking me, though, this system that we have needs to go. The Federal Reserve needs to go away. We are all one paycheck away from being homeless. That's the experience that I see of people. Absolutely, they don't have disposable income. And that's the thing that if you're choosing to work at a job you probably don't really even feel like doing, you should be compensated at least for your time in a good compensation. Okay, let's talk about minimum wage. Okay, look, you're going to be spending money on groceries right now. That's insane. It's just the way it is. So you should be getting $20.50 an hour. Okay. $20.50 an hour, let's say minimum. Okay, minimum. Elon Musk, I mentioned him. He said, look, we got to go to an economy that's a $1,500 given by the government to everybody a month. At minimum, at least $1,500 a month for everyone. Because there's coming a time AI kicks in, and a lot of these service economy jobs are going to be gone. And what the hell happens to people? They're not going to have, what are they going to do? You're just going to let them be like this, twisting around in the wind like that, and you're not going to help them, government? Yeah, you better help them. You let this AI thing keep going. So, and we're there. Like we're so close to the service economy jobs being gone forever. Making hamburgers, taking orders. It's just, then they tax the hell out of it. Oh my, Gucci trolls is where it's at. You're awesome. Okay. You stick with me in these videos. We'll have some fun, because you're really extremely good at bringing something up for me, and it just triggers something in here and I could talk on it, Tax policy, absolutely insane. Loopholes for the rich, insane. Look at Trump's taxes, disgusting. The guy says he's a billionaire and he paid a couple $100 in taxes for years and years. That is a disgrace. Donald Trump loves using the word disgrace. Well, that's a disgrace. He paid $200 and some million to the Chinese government. That's why he doesn't like China. That's why Trump doesn't like China, because he had to actually pay his taxes in China. In America, he could just skirt them and go and use tax loopholes from his accountants. I don't owe nothing. Most years, deductions. I'm a charitable guy. Ridiculous, disgusting disgrace. And I see all of it now with the Trump thing. I can't believe it's gross that I ever supported the guy, But I would say I supported him for the correct reasons. It was to buck the system and piss off the system, and he did that. But it just went bad. And the guy's a narcissist. Trump's a narcissist. Huge problem. You can't be a good leader and be a narcissist. He can't lose. He can't accept losing. And that's what kills Donald Trump in politically. He just can't take an L. He doesn't know how to lose. If he lost in 2020, which he did, he lost the election in 2020 to Joe Brandon. Okay? He lost it. If he went away, he shook Joe's hand. 4 years, it's going to be horrible, Biden. 4 years. I'll be back. We're going to make America great in 2024. I'll be back. He would have been fine. But he had to do what he did January 6th and be ahead of an insurrection, which was a joke. It's stupid. Insane. Ridiculous crap. The insurrection. That was a dog and pony show. Now you had this guy, Kenneth Cheeseborough, this guy that was one of Donald Trump's, I believe, advisors or one of his attorneys. He was running around with Alex Jones that day. You're going to have to charge Alex, guys. You're going to have to charge him because he was like a general in that army. What a joke. An army. The guy with the Viking helmet and the tattoos, and he's muscular, good for the ladies, getting the ladies all worked up, looking good. Ridiculous. The guy was a joke. Yeah, okay, the whole thing was a joke, but it was a horrible thing because people did perish. That's nuts. And they wanted to execute. They wanted to shoot Nancy Pelosi in the head, and they wanted to hang Mike Pence. It's ridiculous, insane, disgusting, ridiculous. Okay, and Trump was the head of it. And no, it wasn't his freedom of speech to conspire with people to try and overturn the election. It just wasn't. He's guilty completely. So hopefully the justice system will sort that out. And I think what they're doing to Hunter Biden's disgusting. Let Hunter Biden alone, okay? The guy was a drug addict and he had some rough stuff. If he has to pay tax stuff, you got to pay penalties and stuff like that. Absolutely. If he did the crime, he does the time. Whatever, Hunter Biden, okay? But the guy, give him a break, man. Ridiculous. Okay, you cannot compare Trump and Biden's son. Stop it. And Joe didn't do nothing with his son. Okay. Unjust measures are an abomination. We have unjust measures in this country. We need to end the Fed. If you want my view on tax policy, absolutely single payers, flat tax, 10%. Everybody, no matter who you are, no exceptions, no deductions. You pay 10% of your income to the federal government. Or some people would probably say, no, just make it state taxes and no federal taxes, period. They don't exist. I think maybe let's go with the federal tax, and it's 10% you pay to Uncle Sam every year. 1 page. You declare your income, you do the calculation, 10% of that, and you pay it, you're done. What are your thoughts on Kensington open drug market? Whoa, I don't even know if I could talk about that. Listen, I would be talking completely out of my butt because I don't know what that's about. So maybe if you want to try and jump in one of these chats with me, we could discuss that. Is that even legal to talk about on here? Open drug market. I'm very libertarian feeling on drugs. I think all drugs should be legalized and treated like any other substance. You know, you buy it where you buy it, and it's, you know, you got your ID. It says you're 21 and you can buy it. You know, I think all drugs should be lit. They talk about it on YouTube. Okay, well, it might be safe then. That's interesting. I'll Google that and do some homework, and I'll see if I could talk about it. But we need to change the system because it's not working for everyday people, and it should. Why the hell should the system only work for the top 1% of the country? That's insane. Revelation News. I'll see you next time. This was on monetary policy, Federal Reserve disgusting vipers.